Hello guys, and welcome to the Jibe Mastery Series presented by Jibe Wear. So, as you probably have found out yourself, and as many windsurfers around the world have found out, Jibe is one of the maneuvers that most people get stuck on and can't master it for a really long time. So, the good guys from Jibe Wear, spread the jibe, have decided to help the wider windsurfing community out and help me out to help you guys. So they are sponsoring this awesome series where over the upcoming year, I'm gonna do a bunch of videos all addressing on how to become a better jibe wearer. So let's talk about Jibe Wear first. Who are they? So it's basically a super cool brand, a clothing brand from windsurfers to windsurfers. So these are a bunch of guys who are making the best quality they can t-shirts and sweatshirts and other clothing items, all inspired by windsurfing related designs. And as you can see, this is one of the t-shirts that I'm wearing right now, and you can check more in the link below. As I said, that they are coming from the windsurfing world and they're giving back to the windsurfing world by supporting creators like me, as well as they have a lot of other cool plans in the future on how to improve the whole windsurfing community, how to make it bigger, better, and more awesome. So if you enjoyed this video, please go out, check out their page, and if you find something that you like, make sure you buy it. But without further ado, let's dive into the first video of the series, and it is how to approach the learning of the jibe. What should be your mindset when you're going into and learning the jibe? Here are my 3 tips on how to learn the jibe in the correct way. First and most important tip is break down the jibe into many small parts, at least into 3 parts. So that would be entry, the middle part, and the exit of the jibe. And inside each part, there are a lot of other smaller parts, which I'm gonna be mentioning in the next videos. But at least break it down into 3 parts: entry, middle, and exit. And only practice one part of the jibe, entry, middle, or exit, in a single session. So if you're trying to do that the whole jibe at once, it's gonna be really difficult because it's a complex maneuver. But if you break it down into at least these 3 parts and you practice one of them at a time, it's gonna be a lot easier to learn it. Second important part is understanding how you're progressing through the jibe, and if something is going wrong, where are you going wrong, where you're getting stuck. So as I said before, a lot of people, they don't really understand where they're going wrong in the jibe, or even if they have an idea, it is very often the case that I found out from my clinics that it's actually 2 or 3 steps before that they start doing something wrong that only manifests itself in the further steps. So to be able to understand where you're going wrong and how you can improve your jibes, I cannot emphasize this enough. You need to be filming and recording yourself in one way or another. So I know it might be a little bit hard for you and you couldn't think like, oh, I don't have a filmer to film me all the time. But if you have a few friends that you're windsurfing together and you have like one GoPro, or you can take like one smartphone into a waterproof case, and one of you just sits on the board and films a few guys doing jibes around you for a few minutes, and then you change, and after the session you check it out, it's gonna make a massive difference. Because let me tell you, once people see how they're jibing filmed for the first time, they're always surprised, because in their head they always imagine it differently than it really is on the water. So make sure you find a way, a person, a friend, a wife, a child that you can enslave into filming you, and it's gonna be awesome, let me tell you. I mean, enslaving anyone may not sound good at first, but once you see the footage, trust me, it's all worth it. And then third and final part of the jibe mastery strategy is choosing the right conditions to learn the jibe, or even to learn a specific element of the jibe. So for the entry and middle part of the jibe, flat water is essential. So if you can choose from a few spots in your local area, always, and you want to learn the jibe, always try and go to the flattest water spot possible. Even if it is gusty there, it's okay, you know, like as you saw in this video when I was doing the jibes in the background, it's a pretty gusty place, the harbor in El Medano, but Once you get a good gust and you start going into the jibe and you have the flat water, this will be the easiest place where you can learn entry and middle part of the jibe. For the exit of the jibe, then it can be a little bit different. So the flat water spot will still work, but sometimes you'll just need that extra push to feel how it feels to fully plane out of the jibe. And then going to a wavy spot in an open sea where you can find a nice and big swell from which you can ride down from and get that extra acceleration after you flip the sail, that can be useful too. So make sure that if you are trying to learn the jibe, you pick the spot where it's easiest to learn the jibe, which most of the time is a flat water spot, even if it might not be the best spot for free riding around. So to summarize the jibe learning philosophy that I'm suggesting to you, make sure you break the jibe down into at least 3 big parts and don't practice more than one of those parts in a single session. Film yourself and your friends so that you know where you're at in your jibe journey, document it, analyze it, and finally choose the right conditions to learn the jibe. And one bonus tip, if you decide that you want to learn a jibe, actually dedicate a session or at least half a session to learning the jibe and consistently do that one aspect of jibing that you want to improve. So don't just go blasting around, just do one jibe after another, get back up, win one jibe after another. So that's a bonus tip for you. So thanks again for the guys from Jibe Wear for making this awesome eco-sustainable clothing and supporting this video series. I hope this is helpful to you guys, and if it is, make sure you check them out too. So thanks for watching this video. If it was helpful to you, leave the like below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and check out my Patreon page where you can support this channel. Thanks a lot and see you in the next Jibe Mastery presented by Jibe Wear video. Adios. Muchas gracias, Blanqui.